Bud says, let's have Peyton, and they'll try to go get Peyton. But this man is not going to come cheap, folks. And whoever he signs with, it's going to be a huge, huge payday. So would Peyton Manning come here, then they would have to get rid of Hasselback, and then the young man, Jake Locker, would still be a man in waiting. But you know what? Wherever Peyton Manning goes, he's going to ratchet up that franchise almost to the point of a playoff contender, almost no matter who they are. I just don't think Bud's going to put out that kind of money. I don't think they're even thinking that way, although there's some media out there nationally that says that the Titans are talking. I haven't talked to anybody yet that thinks that they are. Now, here's what I do know. Let's analyze what happened to Peyton. Why is Peyton no longer a Colt? Well, it's all about money, ladies and gentlemen. And let me just tell you this before I move on, and I'll get into this. A lot of people ask me, Hope, what are you doing these days? And I tell them, you know, first of all, I'm retired, so every day is a holiday. You know, every day's Saturday, and every night's Friday night, and it's 5 o'clock somewhere. So, we're not lacking for entertainment. But I'm writing a book. And the name of my book is called, I hope you're going to like this, In Hindsight. Thank you. That is so clever, isn't it? I wish I could claim that. I didn't think that up, but I'll have to tell you some other time how I did that. In any event, I'm writing about my 40 years in television. By the way, George, when my book is published, will you please have me back so I can come sell these nice folks up my book? Absolutely. Thank you very much. Bob Dudley, I want you to be right in the front, buddy. Anyway, Jim Irsay, I knew Jim Irsay, and George talked about me being in Baltimore. Jim Irsay was a college kid, 18, 19, 20 years old, when his dad, Bob Irsay, owned the Baltimore Colts back in those days, and when he moved him out of town in the cloak of darkness at midnight in 1984. And I was there for all that. But anyway, Jim was a young guy who just was a workout freak. In the summer, he would come down to the Colts training camp and he would work out. He was lifting 750 pounds. The kid was massive. So my point in telling you all of that is, I know now that Jim Irsay, when he took over for his dad, he was 6 or 7 years old. Those years ago. Had to grow up as an owner. It was kind of on-the-job training. But I can tell you that Jim Irsay is one of the more respected owners in the National Football League now. When he talks, a lot of people listen. Here's what Jim Irsay was battling. You need to know that if Jim Irsay had decided he was going to cut a check to Peyton Manning, it was going to cost him $28 million. That was his bonus, a check he was going to get. But here's what most people don't know. In addition to that, in addition to $28 million, Peyton was due $7.4 million salary in 2012. Now, my math tells me that's $35.4 million. Now, that's only half the story. They are going to draft Andrew Luck. There's no question about that, whether he had signed Peyton or whether he didn't. Let's say Peyton was going to be there. He was going to sign him anyway because Peyton was not going to be around many more years. It was going to cost Jim Irsay somewhere between $20 and $25 million to sign this young man, and then it was going to be front-loaded with about 15, 16 million guaranteed. My math tells me that's over $51 million. I don't think two guys playing the same position with only one's going to start is worth $51 million. I don't care who it is. And so that was what Jim Irsay was up.